Well, it's 2026. Music is content for TikTok now. Guitarists make shorts instead of playing in bands. Everyone's a rapper, and you can prompt your backing track in 2 minutes. But the real challenge is staying afloat in the sea of endless tracks churned out every single day to all those streaming services. In other words, the perfect time to release an album that's been rotting on a hard drive for about 10 years now, because it was just not quite perfect back then. No need to rush it. Surely the market will not be oversaturated in the future. Yeah. So here's the story of the album that should have been and now comes way too late. Making music. It's kinda nice, but then again, it's not. It does keep your spirit alive in a way, but just to kill it slowly. If you have fun doing it, success shouldn't matter. But if you've given your whole life to it, it kinda does. And if you've been at it forever, then there's really no way out anymore. If you're a musician with no marketing skills and almost no one is watching your stuff, here's how it is. You want to give it up all the time. You constantly say you'll throw it all away for good. But every time you quickly realize there would not be much left in life without it, so you're cursed to go on with it, and at the same time you're blessed that you have at least some sort of haven in life that keeps the demons at bay and your insanity sane, or as sane as it can be. So here's my story, a little bit of Pentaman history. While in January of 2011, The Old Clown technically was the first official Pentaman track, that one did not yet represent what that name stood for. The Pentaman figure itself is over 20 years old. I scribbled it in some lecture while I was bored and then had the idea to build something around it, a whole franchise, so to speak. But over the years, I added just little things to the lore here and there, not really focusing on that big master plan, instead spending more time on other projects. But at the end of 2012, I started to actually write what was to become the first real Pentaman song.
Come in now the dark, you will only hear me, and I start to bark.
And I had a creative burst after that. Wrote most of this album from the end of 2013 into 2015, and I had it all figured out. Wanted to start as a one-man show with this album and my new loop station and the setup I built around it, and then conquer the music business. From bars to clubs to stadiums. I would keep adding new musicians with every step and make the project bigger and bigger. 2-3 years tops, and I would be on top of the world! Well, what I did do was I learned all the songs and could play them as a one-man band, somewhat decent. So I made a couple of gigs in front of friends, and that went meh. My drum pad playing was too stiff. In order to free up my hands, I had to use an annoying headset mic, or as I like to call it, the Britney mic. And I wanted female backup singers for most hooks anyways, because I was out of breath when I got to the chorus. Yeah, maybe I should have pushed on after that, but even I have limits for degrading myself. Also, there was way too much stuff to transport. I couldn't have done it by train, and I would have needed a generator or car battery when doing street music, and going into pubs unknown with my silly mask was too awkward for me.
Oh, brother, this guy stinks!
It felt like Slipknot going to the birthday party of an 8-year-old. All in all, I didn't like where it was at. So I shelved the whole thing. The album wasn't really ready, playing it live alone was too complicated, and releasing it to 100 subscribers would have just gone unnoticed. So I thought, let's get some attention another way first, get more followers, and then come back to this album later, release it, and then go on my rambunctious world tour. Sure. So I built a new, more mobile setup around the delay pedal that I had bought and loved, and wrote a new album around this one, aptly called Echoes of Doom, which now has two meanings because while finishing the album, I also destroyed my left arm playing too much Doom Eternal with the pinky flicking for dashes every couple of seconds, and sadly this still lingers on till today. Curse you, Doom Eternal, greatest game of all time. But with this album and the setup, I could finally go to the streets, which I did. But again, I chickened out a little and played more cover songs than originals because I was a little awkward with the mask and my own songs, and cover songs seemed to make more money. Although I didn't even make much money with street music because trips to Berlin or Hamburg were as expensive as what I earned on the street, and I would barely come out even. And if I did it closer to home, on several occasions I would even have to pay a fine for playing with a speaker. I still did that from 18 all the way up to last year, losing a lot of time while the other album was rotting on the shelf. But during this time at least something happened that brought the other album further along. At the university, I met some girls who would help me with the vocals I desperately needed for my choruses, so that was nice. But 3 more years have passed since then, losing more time doing street music, and I think I'm kinda done with it. Speakers now everywhere, you're either fighting for spots or you're fighting off fines. Big cities not getting safer, more crazies out there. Maybe a couple more shows this year. And one final street music farewell tour, and that's it for me. And of course, in all those years, I did not make a name for myself playing the streets, which actually had been the whole point of it. So now I'm getting back to that first album, and I'm putting it out there before World War III is coming to my neighborhood as well. And you 226 beautiful souls can listen to what was meant to be my big break. And here is how it will be going down. There are 12 tracks, 6 instrumentals, 6 tracks with lyrics, and I realized I could split those up into 3 EPs, all having 2 lyric tracks, sandwiched by an instrumental, intro, and an outro. At the same time, I'm releasing a bonus album in 4 parts with 3 tracks each, so I'll have a 3-4-3-4-3-4-3 release schedule, and at the end there should be 2 albums with 12 tracks. And then I will finally be done, and it will be the dopest stuff ever put to record. It won't be rotting on my hard drive anymore, but will be out there for everyone to hear. And then the internet will collapse 2 days later, deleting everything, because the bombs destroyed all the servers, and we all live off the grid in a post-nuclear wasteland, singing Amazing Grace at night, holding hands, and thanking the Lord the radioactive cockroach mutants did not get us today. There will be at least 1 video with all 3 EPs, and with track 2, the original Pentaman song and origin story, the plan is to shoot the videos in 3 parts and have it concluded with the last release. Thing is, since this album is a little older, I was swearing much more back then in my lyrics, so it might not fit into these delicate times. Or we've come full circle and swearing is making a comeback. Bringing it back, baby. But track 3 in particular might still be a little bit juicy, and I was debating whether to include the line, "You've let it all happen like stripped to the bed and in the with a attached. Seems like you're mature as the then of this demon." So I made a compromise. I kept it on the album track, but cut it out of the video. The video for this one is done. I did the intro, 1 verse and 1 chorus. Gotta learn to make shorter, quicker releases. And I'm onto the video for track 2 right now, part 1 of 3, hopefully. So EP number 1 is released, and I hope I'm getting through the rest of the video stuff and the parallel bonus songs quicker. But I am the main character here on Earth, as long as I keep believing that. And that means, until I finish these 2 albums, the Atomic Wars cannot start yet. So, you're welcome. On the off chance that after I released all my stuff and the world is still not a war zone in 2027, how will this project, this franchise go on then? Well, I'll try the whole conquer the music business stuff, I guess, and see if people will play for me when I pay them. And then do the whole getting bigger and bigger and on top of the world and all that. But when I'm feeling too old and lazy, and that is a very realistic possibility, I'll just stay in my room and start the comic series that was always planned to be the companion media to the music. But time is running out for the planet Earth, and we'll have to see how many of my crack job plans I'll still be able to see through. Come along for the ride if you like. If you made it this far, thanks for listening so long. Check out the 4 tracks already out, link in the description, the video already up, and part 1 of the origin story up in a minute or so. And if all goes well, we won't see each other in hell.